It's the Internet News with Davis and Dennis. First up, we have some very exciting local news from an up-and-coming YouTuber, Natalie Tran, who also goes by the name of Community Channel. What sort of person thinks a community channel would be a good name for a YouTube channel? Are they like, well, I just completed community college and I think it's really cool and proud of it. So the next act for me is to make a community channel. Well, I guess it's this type of person who would promise to make a video about lamingtons in 2009, but leave her audience hanging for almost a decade with still no sign of lamingtons. She sure sounds like a piece of work. Well, Dennis, wait until you hear about this. No. Because earlier this week, in a now deleted tweet, she said, "Big announcement I've been excited to share with you guys coming up, XXX. Well, what could it possibly be? Could it finally be the Lamington video that everyone has been waiting for? Or could it be any other type of video she hasn't really uploaded in almost 2 years? Well, neither of those, for she tweeted, "Sorry, this is false, lots of people seem to have been doing it. Thought I'd join in." She's literally the only YouTuber in the entire world who could possibly get away with pulling something like that. But again, she deleted the tweet, so maybe she didn't. She certainly didn't. Next up is a story about Manny Mua. You mean makeup artist? I'm sorry? MUA stands for makeup artist, Dennis. Oh. I thought it was just a weird ethnic last name. That's problematic. Anyway, it seems like his comeback isn't doing too well. Oh dear. After being involved with the whole Laura Lee Jeffree Star saga thing and a number of unsuccessful apology attempts since then, this week he thought it would be best to revive his career with a Shane Dawson style documentary. That actually sounds like a pretty good idea. I mean, an insider look of the makeup YouTuber clique would be quite interesting. One problem. He decided to make the documentary about himself. Yep, it's a half-hour fluff piece about his own redemption arc. Seeing that it's disabled the ratings and the comments of the video, I don't think many people appreciate all the effort he put into it, which is not good. Rip Manny Mua's career. It's 3 fingers then. 3 fingers. Indeed. Meanwhile, there was some sad news among the Brit crew, as there were reports this week that Zalfie, yes, Zoella and Pointless Blog had split up. Oh no, they were my third favourite OTP in 2013 after Cheramon and Dan Teasers. Well, Dennis, don't worry, because as we've learnt with the community channel story, you guys shouldn't trust all that you hear on the internet, because Alfie replied to those speculators with a facepalm emoji, which is exactly the same reaction that we made when he said that he wasn't a Tory.
I'm not a Tory.
In other news, with Snapchat struggling with retaining human users, they've decided that the only way to expand themselves is to enter the feline market with a new set of lenses specially made for cats. While you can say that this is a cat-terrific move, Snapchat is probably just as relevant as cat-terrific herself, which isn't good. Now back to even more sad news. I'm sad to say that as of this week, Season 5 of BuzzFeed's Worth It series is over. No. Concluding a grueling 6-episode season. In the finale video, they concluded that the medium price sandwich was better value than the $6 sandwich, and also one that cost $180. Who would have thought? I certainly didn't. But don't let that let you down, Davis, because the only YouTube premium show that is almost worth watching is perhaps back. Yep, Foursome, with most notably Jen McAllister, is back, but this time without Logan Paul. Will this put a dampener on the series? I actually think no. It might actually be watchable now. And our final story is about our longtime favourite YouTubers and inspirational figureheads, Dan and Phil, who they've finally completed their Marathon 80 show tour. 80! And have released their first non-gaming video in months. In the video named Dan and Phil Massive Pizza Mukbang, Dan breaks his veganism to eat some meaty pizza, and they drink a soft drink from wine glasses. all in their pajamas as well. But most importantly, they unveiled their tour will be coming out on DVD and Blu-ray. Yep, it seems like that YouTube Red has lost interest in YouTubers, finally, and Dan and Phil has now resorted to selling their second tour on an increasingly irrelevant and dated format. A trajectory that's just like their own channels, really. Yikes! And to comment on Dan and Phil, and whether they can revive their careers, is me! So ask me some questions. Do you think that they can revive their careers, Dennis? I've heard of them, and I like them a lot, and I think if they upload more, maybe they can start growing again. That does sound very sound, Dennis. Let's go back to the studio.
It's the Internet News with Davis and Dennis.